If you're still trying to figure out how to use AI in your business in 2026, I'm sorry to say, but you're already behind. And I don't say that to be harsh. I say that because I've seen what the gap looks like up close between the businesses that have figured this out and the ones that are still running pilots, still waiting for the perfect moment, and still saying, we'll look into it soon. The good news is, though, that you can fully catch up as to how and where you should implement AI into your business by watching this quick 12-minute video. I'm Harry, and I work for Chai AI. We're a full-stack AI consultancy, and we've deployed machine learning at scale across dozens of organizations across many, many industries, including financial services, real estate, agriculture, energy, manufacturing, just to name a few. Importantly, we've seen what does work, what doesn't work, and we have a structured system for how every business should implement AI in 2026. So here are the 8 moves I'm going to go through in this video that actually move the needle. The ones that separate the businesses that are winning with AI and those that are left behind. I want to start with the single biggest mistake that I see businesses make, which is to start with the technology. They go to a vendor, they get a demo, they get excited, they sign a contract, and then 3 months later, they wonder why nothing has changed. Here's why. Because AI is not a product that you simply install with a click. It's a capability that you build and learn, and the technology is actually the last piece of the puzzle as opposed to the first. So what is the first piece of the puzzle? Well, the first piece is actually the problem. What specific and measurable problem are you facing as a business right now that you're trying to solve? Not something as basic as we want to be more efficient, something specific. Like at the moment, we spend 40 hours processing invoices manually each week. Or the problem is we're losing deals because our sales team don't know which leads to prioritize of the bundle that they get handed all the time. Start there, get obsessive about the problem. Then, and only then, ask what technology can I deploy to solve that problem. The businesses that I see winning with AI are not the ones that bought the most impressive or expensive tools, but it's the ones who are very hyper clear on what the problem was they're trying to solve before they got to a purchasing point. Okay, so you've got a clear problem. Step number 2 is about what you need before you start building. And that thing is data. And this is something that probably nobody wants to hear, but I'm going to say it anyway because it will save you months of pain. Your data is probably not ready. Not because your team is doing anything wrong, but because most organizations out there have accumulated data from different sources in different formats on different systems and all different levels of quality and enrichment. And nobody's ever taken the task of putting it all together. And this links to AI because an AI tool is only as good as the data that it learns from. You can have the most sophisticated algorithm in the whole world, but if you're feeding it inconsistent, unlabeled, inaccurate data, it will always give you a poor output. Garbage in, garbage out every time. So before you start building anything, run an honest audit of your data. Leave your ego at the door and have a look at the raw data you have. This isn't glamorous work, but it is the foundation that everything else, all the fun stuff, sits on. The businesses that skip this step always will pay for it further down the line. And usually that's at the worst possible moment when your AI model is in production and then starts behaving unexpectedly. Get the data right first. It's absolutely not an optional thing. So you've got your problem nailed down and your data across your whole business is unified and consistent. What's next? And this is the step that moves your AI model into production. Now, getting an AI model to produce good, accurate results in a controlled environment, in a data scientist notebook, in a proof of concept, that's actually the easy part. The hard part is what comes next. Getting it into production, making it run reliably at scale, integrating it with your systems, updating it, governing it. And this is what MLOps is. And most organizations massively underestimate how much work is needed in the world of MLOps. I've seen this happen repeatedly with a lot of the organizations that we work with at Chai AI. A data science team builds something genuinely impressive. The demo goes well, the whole team's excited, and then it takes 6 months to get it live because the infrastructure to deploy and run it into production simply wasn't there. Now, the fix that I want you to consider when deploying AI in your business is to think about deployment from day one, not as an afterthought. So before you build the model, ask, how will this run in production? Who will monitor it? What happens if/when it breaks? What does the feedback loop look like when real world data starts to shift? If you can't answer those questions early on, you're not building a product, you're building a demo. Now, quick pause before I get into the rest of the insight I want to share in this video. I want to give you something practical that you can take home today as a thank you for watching this video. We've built a free AI readiness assessment. You answer a few questions and it will give you a score and an answer based on your current situation, exactly where your business stands across 4 key areas: your infrastructure, your team capability, your use case clarity, and your budget and authority. You get a genuine, honest score about how ready you are as a business to implement AI across those 4 areas. The link is in the description. It only takes 5 minutes, and like I said, it's completely free. It will give you a really good idea of how ready you are to start deploying some of the cool tactics we're going through in this video. Okay, onto the video. Now, the fourth point I want to get into is about your team. And this applies to your business, whether you have 500 employees or 0, because there's a mindset shift that separates the businesses getting real value from AI and the ones struggling with it. The successful businesses stop treating AI like a software tool that you set up and then forget about, and they start treating it like a new member of the team. That's the crucial way you need to start viewing that AI tool. So have a think about what you would do with a new employee hire. You'd onboard them, you'd give them context about who your business are and how they work. You'd give them your processes, your playbooks, your business standards, and then critically, you'd give them feedback over time about how they're performing. You wouldn't hire someone on Monday and expect them to be the best performing employee on the Tuesday. It takes time and training. AI is exactly the same. So day 1 of implementing an AI system, assume it knows absolutely 0 about your business. Feed it as much information as you can: data, context, email chains, meeting recordings, brand guidelines, brand playbooks, information on your clients, your prospects, your ideal client persona, and everything else you have handy. And then build a feedback loop, a way for the system to get better and better over time. Because the businesses that get this right set up a system and an AI tool that compounds. They get better every month. The businesses that don't, they'll install it. It doesn't work perfectly out the box, and they'll move on and to the next shiny object. AI doesn't work for us. It didn't fit our business. It's not that AI doesn't work, it's that it needs to be trained continuously, just like a new employee would. Now, the fifth thing I want to talk about is specifically for people wondering where to start with AI. You might be a business owner or a CEO, unsure where to begin. And my answer to you is that you should start with yourself, not your team, not your operations, not your customer facing processes, you. Here's why. Most leaders who try to roll out AI across their entire organization without having to use that same tool themselves, they will always hit a wall. They can't evaluate what's working, they can't coach their team and upskill them on the tech, and they can't make good decisions about where to invest. But a leader who spent 4 hours a day for the last 3 months in that tool, learning and using it themselves, that person understands their technology. They know what it's good at, what it's terrible at, where the friction is, and where the leverage is. So here's a practical version of this. Pick one thing you do every single week that takes you a lot of time. For example, you might choose email management, summarizing reports, preparing for client meetings, and spend a few hours brainstorming how you can use AI to make that process faster and easier. Don't try and automate your whole business from the first step. Just pick one specific use case and try and make it easier and faster. Build it and see what you learn. Once you've nailed that down, then choose another pain point and build something out for that. That's how you expand slowly and how you build real intuition around this that can be transferred to your team. Now, the sixth thing I want to quickly go through applies whether you're trying to implement AI at your business or selling it as a service to customers. Nobody cares about AI. I know that sounds like a strange thing for me to say, seeing as I'm doing a whole video on it, but it's true. Your customers don't care that you're using machine learning to route their customer support tickets. Your employees don't care that you've built a generative AI model to summarize meeting notes. All they care about is, does my problem get solved faster with less friction? Is my life easier? Is it working? Think about the internet. You don't tell people, I use the internet to run my business. You just run your business. The technology is invisible and largely irrelevant. The important thing is the outcome. AI should be exactly the same. When you're communicating internally about AI projects, lead with the business outcome. We're going to cut invoice processing time by 40%. We're going to free up 40 hours per week by automating the invoicing process. That's what gets people engaged both internally and externally. Not the technology, but the outcome. Now, the seventh point is specifically about generative AI and how to use it without getting burned. Generative AI, the large language models, the things that write and summarize and generate, despite being genuinely very powerful, are also very genuinely easy to misuse. The way I think about it is generative AI gives you enormous leverage on tasks that require language, structure, or synthesis. Drafting, summarizing, extracting insight from large documents, generating a first version of something that a human will then go and refine. What it's not good at, but I still see a lot of people using it for, is using it as a replacement for judgment, for domain expertise, for the kind of nuanced decision making that only works from years and years of experience in the field. The businesses that are using generative AI very well are using it to do more of the high leverage, intense thinking work. They're using it to move faster, to get more from a blank page to a good draft in 10 minutes. And then it's their expertise that take it from a good draft to a polished final product. The businesses that are using it badly are copy and pasting outputs and shipping them as final drafts. And sooner or later, that will always catch up with you. So the framing I'd give you: use generative AI to eliminate friction, use your expertise to make the output genuinely good. And the final item, number 8, that I want to leave you with, I've chosen this as last because it's the one I think most people underestimate, is around the window of AI. Now, there is a real opportunity right now, but it's time sensitive, and I want to give an honest opinion as to why I think it is time sensitive. Because we are at a point in AI adoption where the gaps between the businesses that have figured this out and haven't figured this out is out of control. And right now, that gap can be your competitive advantage. Because if you move fast and get this right, you can get way ahead of your competitors before they can catch up. But that window won't stay open forever. Think about what happened with digital transformation. The businesses that got online early, built sufficient e-commerce structure, figured out digital marketing, SEO, they got way, way ahead of their competition. But then the window closed because everyone had caught up. Having a website clearly at this point in time isn't a differentiator. Everyone has a website, but at that point it was. AI is going to do exactly the same thing at some point. Soon, having AI powered businesses, operations, solutions is going to be the baseline, not the differentiator. The question is, are you in group A that leads the way or group B that catches up? Right, before I close the video, I just want to quickly recap those 8 crucial points so you can go and take them away and start implementing AI into your business today. So number 1, start with the problem, not the technology. Get obsessively clear about what you're trying to achieve before you look at the tools. Number 2, sort your data first. An AI model is only as good as the data that you feed into it. Number 3, keep production in mind from day one. Deploying something that runs at scale is difficult and is very different to how it works in your production environment. Number 4, train AI exactly how you would a new team member. Give it context, give it time, give it training. Number 5, automate yourself first. Build real intuition personally before you then go and train and expand that tool out to your team. Number 6, when expanding that tool out to your team, talk about outcomes, not products. Nobody gets excited by AI, they get excited about the outcome and the benefit it can bring their life. Number 7, use generative AI for your leverage, not as a replacement for expertise. That always needs to come at the end. And finally, number 8, the window is now, so capitalize on it while you can before it's a new baseline. If you haven't taken the AI readiness assessment already, I really recommend that you do. It can tell you in just 2 minutes if you're ready to start implementing AI in your business and gives you some crucial personalized insights as to how you can go about doing that. The link is in the description. It's completely free, so why not go and use it? If you did like this video, please like and subscribe. It means a lot. It's a new channel and we're going to be dropping a lot of long form content on all things AI and business growth. See you on the next one.